Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 40th FlossTube video. I'm so excited. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. As always, thank you to everybody who has subscribed and who watches my videos. At the end or in the comments section below the video or the description, there'll be links to things I talk about. There'll be chapters, so you can go right to the area you want to hear about. Of course, I want you to watch it all, but if you happen to come back and need to just find that area, you can find it that way. Just click on the timestamp and it will take you directly to what you want to see. So also I have links to my Etsy shop, my Instagram, Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, buy me a coffee, bio link, and all the other whatever. Anyway, so it's the 15th of August, 2023, which I still can't believe it's 2023. And I got all sorts of stuff to talk about. Okay, I know I'm a little late again, but things have been kind of crazy as I've talked about before in the last video, along with a bunch of other things that have happened, including my air conditioning breaking and having it fixed and all that good stuff. I was also rear-ended badly on July 29th, and I had been waiting for the insurance company to decide on the fate of my poor car. I had a nice rental, a comparable rental. So the insurance company finally decided and they totaled it, which it's probably for the best. With that much damage, it probably would never be the same again. I know too many people that their cars should have been totaled, but they were repaired and they were never the same. So anyway, I've been looking at cars. The hard part is although they've totaled my car and I've gotten all the information, they haven't actually paid it off yet. So it was kind of a challenge. I did, if you're ever in that situation, the cars dealers will work with you as long as you have a letter saying how much you owe on the car and how much the insurance is giving you, which they're giving me a little bit more than I owe on it, which is good. I only had the car 5 months, okay? Or a few months. I don't even know. I think I bought it in March or April. I can't remember, but I haven't had it very long. So anyway, but I really liked it. But I started looking at cars. I can't afford a new car. I don't need a new car, but I wanted something fairly new. I didn't want some, $5,000 car because I do drive a lot. I travel a lot. I hate car buying. It's very stressful. I had just gone through this a few months ago and really did not want to go through it again. But because I haul so much stuff around, now I'm going to all these retreats and I bring stuff to sell. It's not just my stitching stuff. It is like the whole back end full of bags or boxes with patterns in it, fabrics, samples, all that. So I wanted an SUV again. So I did a lot of research online. 10 best small SUVs. I didn't want a compact or a subcompact. I wanted kind of a mid or compact size. Anyway, about the size of my Jeep. And I went test driving, and at the last dealer I went to, I actually test drove 3 cars, and I really liked the first one. That was a Dodge Journey, and it looked mean. It was like all black and black tires, and anyway. And I tried I think it was maybe a Rogue, Nissan Rogue. I can't remember. I looked at so many cars. And then the last car, they had just gotten it in and were actually still detailing it and all that. And it was a GMC Terrain, which is a little bit bigger than I wanted, but it's not, it drives very nice. So after I drove that, I went this is it, because compared to the other ones, it was just such a nice car. It's actually a little bit older than I wanted, but the inside is like immaculate. It has leather seats. Everything is perfect. It has new tires on it. It has, like I said, it's got a lot of cargo seats, heated seats. Like I need heated seats. Occasionally in Florida, it does get cold, but like in the 30s. So don't laugh at me. Anyway, but it has remote start, which I've never had before. And then it has other stuff. I, spent some time today and got my phone hooked to it so I can listen to my books and that. It's just got other stuff I'm not used to having. Anyway, it's a nice car and I'm enjoying it. And another good thing, my payments were a little bit more than I planned on, but when I called the insurance company, because the other car I had was a Jeep Trailhawk, which is a 4-wheel drive and can be used for, running trails and mud. And I didn't realize that 4-wheeling, I don't do that, but they had to price my insurance because, I might go out and go 4-wheeling someday. So the insurance was really expensive. It was way more than my Charger, which was pretty expensive. Anyway, so I transferred it over to the Terrain and it went down close to $50 a month. And I mean, in this area, car insurance is very expensive. So anyway, I really like it. I drove it around a little bit today, took it to the store, bought some groceries, still getting used to it. I need to fill it up with gas, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's my good news, that if you can take it as that. So anyway, but I have some other fun stuff to talk about. It's been, even with everything going on, my stitching really keeps me sane. It gives me something to work on at night. I watch new movies, Netflix, stupid movies, stupid TV shows, whatever, that I don't have to think about too much, and I can stitch. So, but the last 2 weekends, I was actually at retreats. So that helped so much. The first retreat, I had just gotten the rental car like 2 days before it, and then had to drive it to Jacksonville, which is, depending on the time of day, when you hit Tampa or Jacksonville, it's about 4 hours, average 4 hours from my house. So anyway, the first retreat was so much fun. That was a 3-day retreat. So it started Thursday. So I actually went Wednesday. I left Wednesday afternoon and got there. I left about 1 o'clock, got there 5-ish, checked into the hotel, and Melody, my friends Melody and Jean were already there. And so we went out to dinner, and there was a lot of people sitting in the lobby talking and stitching. So I got to, say hi to a bunch of people before it even started. So anyway, the retreat was through Ann Williamson. It's a Sunshine State Stitchers. It was a Florida summer retreat. It's in Jacksonville. It was August 3 to 5. So it was Thursday through Saturday. It started Thursday morning and ended Saturday night. I think you could stay till like 10. I actually left about 2 because it is a 4-hour drive, and I just wanted to get home before it was dark and all that good stuff. So also, Ann Williamson is also nice enough to let me set up at the retreat, which is great. So I can sell my patterns. I have other things. I have, I may have packed them already, some glass flower frogs that you can put your scissors in. I have other little antique type goodies, that kind of stuff. So fabric, I didn't have a lot of fabric anyway, but she lets me set up. She, gives me a table, and I can set up and sell my items. And so it helps offset the cost, and I get to know more people. I always go around and hand out my cards to people that don't know me, and she also lets us introduce ourselves. So I was going to show you all the great things I got at the retreat. So every time Anne's retreats, she always provides us, everyone gets a wonderful seasonal project bag. Sometimes it's Christmas, sometimes it's Thanksgiving. It depends on what it is. This time it was summer. So this wonderful lined, I mean, these are really nice project bags, and we get a little tag with their name on them, and everybody gets one. So they're very nice. I actually filled it up right away because I had a new project I was working on. And then usually there's some goodies inside the bag. This time there was a little zipper tote and a big ring for your floss. There was some floss in a bag, and my ticket for door prizes, which unfortunately I didn't win any, but that's okay. And what is this? There's some charms. Oh, a bee and a sunflower charm. Aren't those cute? So anyway, that was some of the, trying to see what else was in here. That there's a little, this was a gift from somebody, or somebody made these. They're little, it's a little, the Fab 5 2023 Stitch Jacks. They always do something special for everybody. So it's a little needle book. So that was fun, and they're all packaged in cute little bags. And the rest of this stuff in here, I think, is my floss that I have from my project I'm working on, which I will show you later. So that was the gift from Anna. And then I feel guilty because I didn't bring anything, but the people at the table I was sitting with, they also gave us wonderful gifts. I was so excited. It was really nice. So the first thing I got was this mug. It says coffee and cross stitch. Really nice mug with some white, I think it's the, white DMC floss. Also, it used to be full of saltwater taffy. I don't know what happened to it. I think it was the cats. Anyway, but that was really nice. So that was from Linda Newton, and she does a FlossTube, and I think they're changing it to coffee and cross stitch. Whoops, trying to get it back in the bag here. I'm just going to drop it if I don't leave it alone. Okay, also, just trying to think of everything that was given. There was somebody else. Sorry, I don't have your names. I'm sorry, I'm not good at names. This cute little box. And it has like all sorts of little stitching goodies in it. These little teeny scissors. I love these so much. And they actually have a little rubber band that attaches them to the sheath. And they're tiny, but they're really sharp. They're actually pretty good for ripping stuff out. I don't know if you can see. They're pretty sharp. So, and they're fun. They're good travel scissors. And this just stretches and then covers it up again. And there's a little counter, for counting threads. A little hook. I guess I can put my scissors on that. Oops. And one of these cute little hoops I've been thinking about getting, that you can stitch in a little tiny design and put it together, a little hoop. So that was fun. Just, I feel guilty. Next time I'm going to have to bring my own stuff to give to everybody. But this is, I guess it's kind of a new thing at the retreats. So, oh, and she also, I think that was her, gave us this notebook. So it's nice to just be able to, if you want to remember something, you can, I leave it in my stitch bag so I can quick, write something down. And another person gave me this, all of us, this wonderful bag with like everything you could need at a retreat. There's little wet wipes. There's hand sanitizer and lip stuff, Band-Aids, well, next care, bandages, not Band-Aids. And so a few bandages. There's a little bag, probably for scraps or whatever. Cute little bag. Hydrating gloves. Wow, I didn't even miss that. I guess you can just put your gloves in them and then, or your hands in them and sit and relax. So I may have to do that. maybe after a day of moving stuff to storage, because I'm not going to go into that, but I'm still working on it. I just haven't been able to with the rental car and all of that. So, oh, also the Jax 5 also made everybody, there was like 50 people at this retreat. They made everybody this fun necklace. They put a chain on it. You could also use it as a to put your floss on, or a scissor fob. But they made these. I don't know if you can read it. It says Jacksonville 2023, and it's a group of women stitching. And they made all these for everybody in the group. So we all wore them. It's kind of fun. And I actually wore it to the next retreat I went to also, that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So one of the things I have been looking for, because I've seen them, and it's a FOMO, fear of missing out, you got to have one kind of thing. I wanted a retreat mat that you can put on the table, put your light on it, put your floss on it. It's got pockets for scissors. Some of them are really big and really, they have a lot with them, which is great. But I didn't want to spend, they're like $85 and, but there's a lot of pieces to them to put them together. So I met this wonderful woman at the retreat. I was looking at the table next to me, which had a bunch of, they all had table mats. And I'm looking at them and like, oh, I really like those. The colors were so pretty and bright and all that. And I was talking to them, and one of the women said she makes them, but she didn't have a table set up. So we met after the retreat, and she had some with her. So I got to go through them. She had some Harry Potter ones and then Alice in Wonderland ones. I don't remember what kind of fabric this is. If you're a fabric person, you would know. And she is Stitchvana. And I know she has a website. She had an Etsy shop. So it's Stitchvana. Oh, I may have to look up her website and put a link in there. And it's Stitchvana. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I'll put the link at the end. And she makes these wonderful retreat mats. I just love it so much. Like I said, I'm not into Alice in Wonderland that much, but it's got threads all over it. Obviously, I'm using it, but the colors, for me, these colors are just wonderful. Isn't this fun? With the background, she had all different colors. No two are alike. She had one with cats, which I really liked, but the rest of the colors didn't speak to me. And this is the back. I mean, they're beautifully finished. And if you can see, there's pockets here. She actually puts her business card. When you get it, it has a business card in the pocket. Her daughter makes these fabulous scissor fobs, which come with it, and they match it. They also come with a needle minder, magnetic needle minder, but they hadn't come in yet. So they came in after she left. She's from, I think, South Carolina, one of the Carolinas. Anyway, and so she's going to mail it to me. But, and it also, see, I actually stuck some of my business cards in here because people come around and talk to me, and that way I don't have to dig one out. But it also comes with an thing, a thread keeper that matches. And she's got this cute little tag on it that says Stitchvana, but it's all Alice in Wonderland stuff. And it just folds up and fits right in the pocket. So this thing is great. And they were, I think they're about $40, including shipping. But it was just so much fun. The colors are just me. And when I show you what I was working on, all the colors in the project are in this, this mat here. But anyway, she has lots more, like I said, Harry Potter stuff. If she would have had more Halloween-y stuff, I might have got one. And I will probably get more because you can't have just one. So, and it's nice. It's the size of a regular placemat, and one you would make. It's size of one I have anyway, and a handmade one. And some of them are bigger, and some have pockets that hang off the front that you can put stuff in, which are great. And I was looking at those, but this one is good for my needs. Over the years, I will probably get more, how that goes. So anyway, that is one of the things I got at the retreat. So anyway, it was so much fun, and always has wonderful retreats, very nice facilities. It was at the Hilton. All your lunches were included, and they did them right there there was a restaurant right in the resort, or in the Hilton, and it was in a really nice plaza. So there was restaurants, so you could just walk. The first night we just walked back behind the hotel, and there was a cute little, they had like pizza and beer, but it was like craft beers and stuff. So we went there, and I had a slice of pizza and a salad with Jean and Melody. And it was a lot of fun. And I try to go to all of Anna's retreats. I think I'm scheduled for at least 2 next year. She has retreats throughout the year. She's kind of cut back a little bit on them, but if you want to, she is, I think I talk about it more at the end, but she's Sunshine State Stitchers. It's on Facebook. You can probably search for it. It's private group, but you need to ask. So you need to ask to join. And there's another group I'm going to talk about in a minute. But so anyway, that was that retreat, and it was just nice. The hotel was really nice. The bed was comfortable. I actually slept good for a change because, I've had so much going on. It was so good just to get away. The rooms are nice. They had big TV. There was little refrigerator and, all the good stuff, coffee maker and all that. So anyway, that was that retreat. That's the Florida Summer Retreat in Jacksonville. I think she already has next year's booked. You can't sign up for it yet, but they sell out quickly within sometimes a day, sometimes a couple of days, but if they sell out pretty quick, and you can always get on the waiting list, because unfortunately things happen, and people can't go. With everything I've had going on over the past couple of years, I've had to cancel a couple of them. So now I went to another retreat the next weekend. So that was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I was home for a week, and I went to a 1-day retreat. I have to get a drink here. A 1-day retreat in Ocala, Florida, which is about 2 hours north of St. Petersburg. Again, depending on traffic. I splurged and bought some squirt, which I love. Anyway, so this was put on by Brick City Cross Stitch, which is a shop in Ocala. She has several retreats throughout the year. They're pretty much always at the same hotel in Ocala. It's very easy to get to. It's right off 275. She has 3-day retreats, which she had just had one like the weekend before. And then she has 1-day retreats, and her retreats are bare bone retreats. So they're not real fancy, which is great, which is fine. I don't need fancy. It's just a fun group of people. A lot of the people were at the Jacksonville retreat, including Jean and Melody, who I sat with, and some other people. And you always meet new people. If you don't know anybody, by the time you leave, you will know people, because everybody's very friendly and open, and you walk around and see everybody and admire their stitching, and they admire your stitching, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, Brick City, there will be a link to Brick City's website. They also have a Facebook page, but it's Brick City Cross Stitch. And so again, I went to it's a 1-day retreat, and it's about 2 hours away. So I just got up that morning and drove up. It's about 2 hours. So, and her retreats are from 10 to 4, the 1-day ones. So, and then she usually opens the shop up like at 9, so you can go to the shop before you go to the retreat. And she actually, if you go to the retreat, you get like a 10% off coupon and some other things. And of course, they have door prizes also, and raffles. They also have sometimes it's Olive Garden for lunch. This, like salad and breadsticks. And this time we had pizza and cookies, warm chocolate chip cookies. So it was yummy. And of course, a lot of people bring treats. There was a bag of Duff chocolate on our table, and other people had other, treats and goodies. There's always something yummy to chew on or to munch on. So I did not win a door prize, unfortunately, but I did win one of the raffle prizes. I was so excited. For the raffle, you got like 6 tickets for $5, and then they have the prizes and little containers in front of them, and you put your ticket in that, and then they draw from it. And some of the prizes were pretty nice, and I really liked the one I won, so I was thrilled. I won. This is a set of 4 shepherd's bush patterns, and these are their seasons. So it's got autumn garden, and look, it comes with all the buttons. There's autumn garden, summer garden with all the cute little buttons. It's got this cute little sun and a watermelon and bees. And then this is spring garden with it looks like a pot of flowers and bees again, and birds and ladybugs. And then winter garden, which I really like the moon button. So it's got a moon button, and I don't know what all, a blackbird and a flower and a heart and all that. So that's what I won. These are older, which is fine. I just love shepherd's bush. These are from 2003. But I mean, what a wonderful gift. And they're actually stitched on 20 count or 18 and 19 count linen. And so you have to stitch it on that, or the buttons won't fit right if you stitch it on a smaller linen like I usually would. So I believe I have some 20 count cream linen. So I'm going to hopefully someday work them up, because they should work up. I don't want to show the pattern, but they should work up fairly quickly, except of course with all shepherd's bush, there's a lot of little color changes and little fun little things. I don't know if you can see the cute frame. It's got like beets, little plants on the, I'm sure these are, Jill Rensel framed these with the hand painted mat board on it. Anyway, so that was my fun prize. So I was excited. And as always, if you haven't been to a retreat, you need to go. It's really good to connect with other stitchers, and they understand, or just other people. It is mostly women, but there are men that come. There was Peter was at the Ocala retreat. I don't think there was a man at Anne's retreat, but you see them, there's men, and I say, good, it's nice to, everybody's welcome, everybody, and everybody is usually friendly, as with any group. They're, like I said, if you don't know anybody, you will by the end. And last time I showed my book with all the name, where you put names and numbers, and I passed it around, and everybody signed into it, or people that wanted to. And there was also a couple other ones floating around. I stapled my card on the front of mine, so I would know which one was mine. So anyway, I put a link to the Brick City Cross Stitch website. So if you're interested in these or any other retreats in the Florida area, there are retreats everywhere, but I go mostly to Florida. because I can usually drive. So if you're interested in a retreat in Florida, you can look for Florida Stitching Events. It's a Facebook group, and you just have to search for it. It's a private group, but you can, you know, request to join. You probably have to answer a couple questions. Also, there's Sunshine State Stitchers. I think there's another group that is stitching events, and they just list all the events. Some of them, the stitching events, I think lists everywhere in the world. You can put an event in there. I've done online classes and put them in there. Also the, what am I talking about here? Yeah, the Florida Stitching Events. It lists events mostly within Florida and maybe along the edge of the Panhandle and stuff in Florida. So anyway, that's I just say you need to go. Also, I forgot, another wonderful woman passed around these, there was a whole bag of these cute little to hang your floss tags on. Isn't that pretty? It's like it's almost like cloisonne. It's probably resin, but there was all different colors and designs, but this one kind of matched my my mat here, so it's kind of my colors, the aqua and pink colors. So she just passed around a bag and everybody picked out what they wanted. So that's my that was my retreat. Yes, I needed those to get away and just relax. The drive up to Jacksonville was a little rough because there was a lot of rain, heavy rain sometimes, but it wasn't bad. I had my GPS, I was good, and my audiobook. I made it, no problem. So now I have a finish, and this is a surprise finish because I actually never showed you the whip because it actually worked up pretty fast. I started it probably around the middle to end of July. So it worked up pretty quick. And it's not one of my designs. And I like to do that. I love other people's designs. I love shepherd's bush, like I said, and a lot of Halloween-y stuff. This is not what I would typically, the colors aren't what I would typically pick, but this it's just fun. It's a beautiful, fun sampler. And I just love it so much. The colors. This is called Two Turtles and a Flamingo. Now, I will tell you, as a designer, I would not have picked some of these colors, purple and this aqua and teal and this olive green and this kind of, it's called orange, but to me, it's more of a salmon coral color, and this bright pink. I never would have picked them, but isn't this beautiful? I love this so much. This is Jean Farish Needleworks. I have a link to her Etsy shop for this chart. She also has the floss, which is, I don't have the pattern picture here, but this is Cosmo Floss. And so she has the, you can buy the packet of floss. I bought a whole kit. I was actually doing another class she was teaching, which I actually didn't get to go to, but I got the kit anyway. But she decided to offer people a chance to buy this also with the, I think it's 30 count linen and all the floss, which I actually matched the scissor fob, which is the project we were making. I did make a few changes. Some were intentional, some were not, but it was a lot of fun. I changed just a few things. Like I said, some were by accident, but and some I just kind of changed a few colors. Also, she, when I saw this and I read the verse, it says, smell the sea and feel the sky, let your soul and spirit fly. Now, if any of you are Van Morrison fans, you will know this is a line from Into the Mystic. So what she did, I think this was actually designed for one of her cruises. out of Florida. And so here I changed this and put into the Mystic. This is actually supposed to be down here, but I moved it up here to have it closer to the verse. I don't know if you can see, trying to get the light here, but it is beautiful. And I was kind of worried about how the lettering would look with only one strand, but it shows up beautifully. Anyway, she had, you could put beach or cruise or Florida. She had all sorts of stuff charted out. I don't even know, 10 or 12 different sayings to put in there. But of course, I had to do something different. So I actually charted into the Mystic using some of her letters she had. And I like the aqua colors. So I did it in the aqua and then did these in the purples. And I put this down here instead of up here. I changed a few colors down here, but they're all her colors that she picked. And I love it so much. So, and it was fun. It stitched up pretty quick. So thank you, Jean. Again, there's a link to her Etsy shop in the comments section there. So that is that. Now, take a breath here. So, yeah, the last few days have been crazy. I'm so tired of, I spent all my time online looking at cars. And by the time you're done, you just get so confused because there's so many cars. I had notes and oh my God. And then I bought something that I didn't even have on my list. It was highly recommended, but I did not write it. I remembered it. Anyway, back to stitching. So last time or the time before, I talked about, whoops, I don't know if I still have the picture out. Maybe I do. My office here, which is supposed to be being cleaned up, is kind of a disaster area. So no, the picture's not in there. Anyway, but I showed a picture of this Mexican sampler that I had reproduced. And my friend up in Michigan had stitched it. I mean, back in the 80s. This was back when I first started reproducing and buying samplers. And this is either the first or one of the first samplers I bought. And so she stitched it for me. And then I took good pictures of it, close-up pictures, and then gave it back to her and gave her the model back. And then she actually, unfortunately, passed away a year or two ago. And I don't have the samples. So I had never stitched it. I'd actually tried it a couple of times, but for some reason, my brain wouldn't click to stitch it. I kept making mistakes. So I just said, forget it. And then during the FlossTube, this happens to me a lot. When I pull out something, it kind of goes, you know, you need to reproduce that and stitch it yourself. So, and trying to find the original antique sampler, I found so many in my, I have acid-free boxes and tissue that I have a lot of my unframed samplers in. I'm like, oh my God, I need to reproduce all these in my spare time. So anyway, I have the original sampler here. It's in bad shape. It was cheap, not cheap, inexpensive for an antique sampler. And it's had a rough life, you will see. So this is Trinidad Gonzalez. It says December 1879 is when it was stitched. And as you can see, it's in rough shape. It's very stained. It's stitched on like a 28 count, maybe a little bit smaller linen. I charted it for 28. It may actually be smaller than that now that I look at the sample, because back in the day when I charted this first, you couldn't get a lot of different linens back in the 80s, at least not, you know, in the US. I don't know about other areas, but where we lived, you had like 28 count and 35 count and 25 count. That was about it for linen. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's in rough shape. Like I said, it's stitched in wool and it's had a rough life. It's missing a lot of stitches, but I could still figure it out. And while I was stitching it, I figured out the entire sampler is actually stitched in long arm cross stitch, which gives it a braided look. Any of the stitches, if there's more than 2 in a row, horizontally, it's stitched in long arm cross stitch. And it does have very bright, vibrant colors. You can see the back is a little bit brighter. Wool usually holds its color pretty good. You can see the neatness on the back. All the stitches are straight up and down. That's a sign of long arm cross, how you work it. It's a lot of fun. Again, I say that I had so many problems. I don't know why I had so many problems before with it, but I'm enjoying it. It has a lot of cute little patterns and big flowers, bright. I mean, this speaks of Mexico to me, the bright flowers and things. And she also did grabbed maybe the wrong color blue, or she ran out. This section, this is stitched in like a dark, I'm trying to think, 934 green, dark black green, or whatever you want to call it. And this section here is actually stitched in black. So I'm thinking she was sitting there with her basket of threads, grabbed a thread and did not realize, because they're almost the same color, did not realize she was stitching in black. It's kind of fun. You can think of the history behind it. This sampler is also very unusual. I have never seen this before. It is hem stitched, but it's folded to the front. You don't see that very often. And then it's also hem stitched with long arm cross stitch, which I have never seen before. I have a couple of Mexican samplers, but they are not stitched like that. But the nice thing is it's a large count. This is a cotton. It's not linen. It's a cotton fabric. But I could figure out, I actually have the instructions written, and my friend did it, and she did the hem stitch and folded it toward the front. I worked up these instructions back in the 80s, before there were programs for this kind of stuff. And then when I got recently, I went in and trying to find the, I don't know if I have the stitch diagrams in here or not. Okay, this is, shows the long arm cross stitch. So what she did is, if there was more than one row, she worked it this way, went down and worked back this way. So it kind of, that's unusual also. So let me see if I can find, there it is. Sorry, I kind of scattered here, but I wrote up these directions on how to fold the linen and how to do, or the fabric, I should say, and how to do the long arm cross stitch. So I will be doing that when I am done with my stitching. So, ta-da, I'm not very far, but here we have Trinidad Gonzalez. This is what I worked on during the retreat, the Brick City retreat. That was a one-day retreat. I already had part of it done. I got the lettering done, and this line here, and a little bit of this, because I spent a lot of time walking around and talking. The rest of this I did at home here, just like I said, stitching in front of the TV. I think it's pretty close. Okay, so here is mine. I was thinking it looked bigger, but it actually, see if I can hold this here. There's the original and there's mine. So it's pretty close. It's 28 count cotton fabric. So but it's kind of fun. It's a little challenging. I found, I don't know if my confidence has grown. I mean, I've been stitching since 1980, and it was just a few years after that I started doing with Eileen Bennett. I took my first stitching on linen class, and I always took classes on all different kind of candle wicking and chicken scratch and all these different classes, because I just, even back then, I love to learn. So I don't know, I had some kind of a problem with it, but now I'm doing it and I like it. And so hopefully I can get that done fairly quickly, get it. Of course, I have at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 other patterns I need to get the or samplers I've stitched, reproduced, that I need to get the patterns done. So yeah, I'm hoping if I ever get moved, that's my goal. I have to get this house sold. I've had so much work done on it that's why it was kind of devastating to have to buy another car, because I had the air conditioning fixed. I had all this yard work done. There was a lot. He was here for days. I mean, it wasn't just yard work. He got up on the house, trimmed back trees. I had trees out. We have a big group of trees out front, palm trees and other birds of paradise. He trimmed all those back. There was vines growing. Anyway, he was here for like a week, days, just just cleaning up, raking. I still have, I think, 6 big black garbage bags full of stuff that he cleaned up, that our garbage is picked up twice a week. So I can usually fit 3 of those bags in a can. So I've been taking it out. So I have maybe 2 more times. He says, I didn't make them too heavy, so you shouldn't have any problem. Yeah, well, he's a little stronger than I am. So I get him in the thing, but it's a challenge. So anyway, that's it. Yes, that's it for FlossTube number 40. Thank you. Sorry I'm late. Hopefully the first I will get it done on time, get it posted. We will have a new stitch of the month. I don't know what that will be yet, because, you know, that's the way I work. If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would ever get done. That's my motto. So again, thank you to everybody who likes, who subscribed. I've had some new subscribers. Thank you. Welcome. I love comments. Please let me know, you know, what you're doing, what's going on. And be sure to subscribe so you can be notified. My videos are usually posted on the 1st and the 15th. Usually at midnight on the 1st and the 15th, but the last 1st and this one are later on the day, and that's just how it goes. So anyway, again, all the links I talked about are posted in the comments description section. So, and if there's anything you want to hear about next time, hopefully I don't know where I'll be at in this mess I'm in, but I can maybe talk about some antique needlework tools or something, maybe something I find. Oh, I found this is an antique stitching frame. Maybe I can talk about that next time, because I had it wrapped. Anyway, that's the thing when you try and move, you find all this cool stuff, and then you sit and look at it instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing. So anyway, that's it. So thank you again, and I will see you on the 1st of September.